accompanied by the Patriarchy from Toronto, Ontario, Canada, weighing 218 pounds, Christian Cage!
And is there any better way to start Dynamite than Father of the Year, Canada's favourite son, and father for that matter? Onward, Christian soldiers! Come on!
Christian Cage, the man who holds a shot, a contract at the AEW World Championship anytime he wants to execute it. A man who, to my recollection, spears you out of your boots back in London, England earlier this summer, but I digress, Nigel. Shout out to Taz.
And his tag team partner from Aaron's Creek, Virginia, weighing 229 pounds, Hangman Adam Page!
Well, Tony, an odd coupling between Hangman Adam Page and the Patriarch Christian Cage, but perhaps a situation where the enemy of my enemy is my friend.
Very interesting tag team, Matt. I don't think there's any question. It kind of surprised us when we found out they would be together, but these are two fine professional wrestlers and also two men who should not be trusted. They're two men that got in the way of this man's title aspirations, and that's why he's got an axe to grind right now.
And their opponents, the team of Juice Robinson and Switchblade Jay White!
Yeah, Nigel, I'm at risk of mixing my metaphors here, but the Switchblade seems to have an axe to grind with the Patriarch and the Hangman due to the injuries Switchblade Jay White sustained in the Owen Hart Foundation tournament earlier this summer.
He was facing off against Adam Page when he suffered an injury in that match, but he's got no one to blame but himself.
You're burying the lead there. You're burying the lead because Christian Cage interrupted the proceedings during that match, effectively costing Switchblade Jay White an opportunity to move on in the tournament.
Cost him potentially the match, but you could also put some of the blame on Jay White for allowing himself to be distracted. Speaking of being distracted, look at that beautiful mother at ringside. A mother's work is never done.
Talk about, of course, Mother Wayne, part of the Patriarchy, alongside her son Nick. And now we understand Kip Sabian, but we've been talking a lot about 3 of the 4 competitors here in this match. The stray bullet, Juice Robinson, the true wild card.
Juice Robinson is a very unpredictable, very wild type character. I'd love to see him in matches because you just never know what he's going to do or where he's going to come from. And I think he and Jay make a great tag team because they're, of course, members of the Bang Bang Gang and they trust each other. I think they trust each other a lot more than Hangman would trust Christian Cage.
I think there's very little trust between Hangman and Christian Cage, especially given their history. But now, the attempt by Switchblade Jay White, side headlock takeover. Hangman immediately attempting to rise to his feet, but Switchblade Jay White keeping a tight grip on the head of Hangman.
If you caught it there, fellas, but even on the way out, Hangman and Page, I think, nursing an injury to his left leg, his knee perhaps.
So I believe an injury dating back more than a month, excuse me, just about a month to when these two men crossed paths at Wrestle Dream. It was a night that Switchblade Jay White was successful, but Hangman coming in, big elbow strike, and Jay White goes down in a heap. Christian Cage tagging himself in.
Wow, now once again, there you go, distrust. You can see it on their faces. I don't think that was distrust at all, Tony. I think that was Adam Page had the advantage, wanted to press it, but instead, a man with the diplomatic poise of a Charles de Gaulle. Christian Cage opting to get in the match.
Of course, coming up in 10 days' time at Full Gear Live on pay-per-view, it will be the rematch between Hangman Adam Page and Switchblade Jay White. Tag mate Christian Cage wants no part of Stray Bullet Juice Robinson.
As I mentioned, Robinson, erratic, high energy, unbridled. The team of Robinson and White back together, and who can forget
that match of the year contender they had in the early days of Collision against FTR. But we will see later in action.
That's right, our main event, part of the Full Gear 4-Way Contender Series, looking to advance to Full Gear in Newark, New Jersey on Saturday, November 23rd to challenge Private Party for the AEW World Tag Team Championship in that 4-way match. But here comes Juice Robinson.
There you go.
Right hand. Neck breaker delivered by Christian Cage.
That was some pretty good work by Hangman Adam Page to get the attention away from Christian Cage, who took advantage of it.
Popped it up. Christian Cage knocked it out of the park.
Speaking of knocked out of the park, Juice Robinson at the feet of Nick Wayne, who with the referee's back turn, picking his shot. And a kick to the ribs on Juice Robinson. You see Kip Sabian and Mother Wayne also looking on.
Both Wayne and Sabian trying to gain the favor of the Patriarch, Christian Cage.
That's a good point.
This past week, wasn't it? We heard Christian Cage say, "I love you, Kip Sabian," because Kip Sabian saved the title opportunity contract. There's the tag. Christian Cage holds in his hand.
Tag made now. Hangman will leave the man alongside Juice Robinson.
It was pretty apparent in what you're talking about, Nigel, that Christian Cage was trying to
Execute the contract.
but also pair the two against each other. Have a little bit of conflict between Kip Sabian and young Nick Wayne.
No, it's been a healthy competition. That's what you're saying.
No, that's not what I'm saying at all. You know it hasn't been.
Come on, you've pitted all your children against each other. Be honest.
That's not true. Look at that move.
Hangman, the far right hook. Juice Robinson able to kick out.
But you got to have a favorite kid. Come on, Tony.
I don't have a favorite kid. A father shouldn't. Nigel.
Good father should.
Swift kick to the ribs by the Patriarch. And now both boots on the face of Juice Robinson.
Dare I say, if Christian Cage executes that contract at the right time, he could become the next AEW World Champion. I know it's John Moxley.
Well, wait a second. Christian Cage, cover, kick out.
But Christian has all the ability to win that title. No question.
Well, it's John Moxley right now, Tony, but it could be Orange Cassidy as the AEW World Champion come Full Gear. In that main event match for the AEW World Championship, John Moxley, Orange Cassidy finally stepping up to try to counter what John Moxley and his Death Riders have been bringing to AEW as of late.
I've never seen Orange Cassidy in the mindset that he is right now. And we've known Orange Cassidy since AEW was formed.
Yeah, it's a big task, certainly.
And now Nick Wayne sizing up Juice Robinson. Well, oh, wait a second! From out of the crowd, in comes Hook! The man who's had his share of issues with Christian Cage after the attack on our broadcast colleague Taz. And Hook looking to even the odds here tonight.
Christian Cage tried to bring Hook into the family. Look at that face of Christian.
Oh, wait a second.
There's Juice Robinson. Oh. Drives down Christian Cage outside of the ring.
So imitation's the greatest form of flattery. Robinson flattening the Patriarch there with his same move.
Yeah, both men down, and there's a concern in the Christian Cage camp, not only about Christian Cage, but what happened to Nick Wayne.
Wait a second, Hangman Adam Page wasting no time and just bringing Christian back into the ring.
That's a good way to prevent a countout.
Well, remember, Hangman, of course, the former AEW World Tag Team Champion.
Yes, he is.
Alongside Kenny Omega, so he's got great tag team instincts. And speaking of tag team instincts, there goes Juice Robinson tagging in Jay White. And now these two men teeing off on each other. A bit of a sneak preview of Full Gear coming up in 10 days' time, live on pay-per-view.
And those chops are right on target. So are those right hands. Look at that.
Jay White looking to send Hangman in. Hangman the reversal. Jay White ducks under a knee. Hangman finds his feet, but again, favoring that knee, and now it's the opposite knee. Jay White going to work with surgical precision on both Hangman and Christian Cage.
Yeah, he is so fundamentally sound, Excalibur. Jay White.